For the first time in the 2014 playoff, Brooklyn fans got to see their team live and direct here at the Barclays Center, and it was a happy night for the Brooklyn fans here today as the Nets recorded a 102-98 victory in Game 3 of their first-round matchup against the Toronto Raptors. Hi, I'm Dexter Henry for Nets Daily, joined by the great writer of Nets Daily and editor Tom Lorenzo here to talk a little Nets basketball. And Tom, this was a great win for the Nets.
Yeah.
It was a little shaky down the stretch, which we'll get to later, but they pulled out the win 102-98. Huge performance. Joe Johnson, 29 points.
Yeah.
Darren Williams, 22. Backcourt came up big. What do you think of what these guys did today?
Fantastic job. You know, that Joe Johnson, Darren Williams, Paul Pierce, the go-to guys that needed to step up, did step up. Both ends of the court, offensively and on the defense, really made Kyle Lowry work, made DeMar DeRozan work, got Terrence Ross to struggle in this game. So on both ends of the court, you know, that backcourt of Darren Williams, Paul Pierce, Joe Johnson, those guys really made it work and, came away with a great victory tonight.
Yeah, definitely did. They were a huge factor in it, and the backcourt's gotten going. I've really been impressed with Darren Williams' play in this series, and after the game we had a chance to hear from both members of Brooklyn's starting backcourt about this huge series win.
And that home court has shifted, and it's in our advantage. So, you know, we just want to take our time, execute offensively and defensively, help each other, and use our crowd as our sixth man to help us out.
You know, I think we're poised to make a run. But like Joe said, we're going to take it one game at a time. We're not going to worry about the next game. We're worried about Sunday. You know, we're not going to worry about the game after that, going back to Toronto. We're just taking it one game at a time, one possession at a time. Every possession counts. Every possession matters. We're going to go watch the film and see how we can get better and how we can improve on the last game.
Besides Brooklyn's backcourt playing great in this game, another thing that I felt was a huge factor was the sixth man was the crowd here at the Barclays Center. Now, last year, I was a little critical of the crowd here at the Barclays Center. The energy was a little lackluster, guys. You could have stepped it up, but tonight, there was a lot of energy in the building, and I thought it was all sparked, Tom, by this one play. Kevin Garnett in the second quarter, diving on for a loose ball with Darren Williams, comes up with the ball, sticks his jersey out to the crowd of Brooklyn, and the crowd just goes wild. I thought the energy was amazing here. What did you think? Because I thought it really lifted the team at a certain point.
And I think you're right. I mean, the basis of getting the crowd going is playing off of the players. And when you get the energy on the court, you know, it really starts to resonate around the basketball court, around with fans. And that's KG. That's what KG does. KG gets the crowd hyped. KG himself gets hyped. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. He really lets it out. And that was a pivotal moment. And that was a moment where, you know, the crowd really got into it. And from that moment on, they really took off and became a huge factor in this game.
Most definitely. I can't remember the Barclays Center at least ever hearing it that loud. And they're going to need that fan support in Game 4. Now let's look ahead to Game 4. This is a huge opportunity for the Nets. They can take a commanding 3-1 series lead here. So we didn't like how they played at the stretch this game. They had a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes to go. That dwindled all the way down to 1 point, but they pulled this out. So, Tom, the million-dollar question here is, what do they need to do in Game 4 to feed off the energy of the crowd and take this commanding lead in this series against Toronto?
You know, it really is. It's all about toughness. And that's what Paul Pierce said in Game 2. He said they weren't tough enough down the stretch, and that's what they needed to do. And you saw it kind of slipping away, like you said, in the fourth quarter with that 15-point lead. They got too lackadaisical. They fell back. They weren't tough enough. They weren't trying to close it out. But that's what they need to do in Game 4. They need to come out, remain tough, start playing their game, play that Brooklyn style of basketball, and really kind of maintain that intensity in order to close out that game.
If they do that, Tom, then we could see ourselves a very strong, commanding 3-1 lead. I think Nets fans will feel great about that. Heading back to Toronto, you'd have to like their chances. But for now, you got to enjoy this win, 102-98 over the Raptors here at the Barclays Center. The Nets will look to make it 2 in a row in the postseason here in Brooklyn with a win on Sunday. We'll be here for that. Nets Daily's got it covered in the playoffs. We'll see what the Nets can do. For Tom Lorenzo, I'm Dexter Henry. Until Game 4, we're signing off.